Hey everyone, welcome back to the Beauty School Bobbi podcast. I am so excited for this episode today because this is our America's Beauty Show recap episode with Nyalee. So Nyalee you might recognize from all of the Instagram stories. She's inspo for Reels on Instagram, but this is our second year of going up to America's Beauty Show together. Mm-hmm. So Nyalee actually, we'll tell them what your business is, like what you do, and then we'll talk about what we were doing at the show.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you so much, Bobbi, for having me on here. First of all, I'm so excited. This is like so exciting for me because I always watch all of your episodes and everything, and it's just so fun.
It was time for us to tell like our story of like behind the scenes. Yeah. So this is like just needed to happen.
I'm feeling like famous now that I get to be on here with you. Anyway. So inspo for Reels is event content creation, so event, weddings, anything like that. And so I come to your event and I film behind the scenes Reels. And depending on what package the client gets, I can do anywhere from 1 to 8 Reels for the client. And so depending on what they want, I'm there from anywhere from 2 hours to 8 hours. It really just depends. And I kind of just like to go in and highlight all the behind the scenes and details that sometimes go missed. Yeah. In the whole scheme of like the day, because it can get really hectic.
Yeah.
Like ABS did a lot of times. And I captured a lot of details that sometimes we would have forgotten about. And I think that's really important to do.
Yeah. So as a part of our team at America's Beauty Show, so the first year, we went up and we were just kind of like checking out a show and like what it meant. And then last year we brought you with us because we were like, first of all, we just knew how good you are at this. I think that there's such like a niche market for like the behind the scenes of everything. And like, if I was getting married, I would 100% be like, I have to have Nyalee. Like now everything in my life, I'm like, well, Nyalee needs to be there. TBPA, you did behind the scenes for us and just capturing like the entrance of everybody coming in and like just all of those things, like they're really important, but because I think you've worked with us so much, I think you know what we are looking for.
Yeah.
I think that was the magic of this year is like we all really knew what the end product was going to be. And so with the America's Beauty Show team, we actually make videos, we make reels, we do interviews. So we're there covering the show. So we actually work with the America's Beauty Show team. I know a lot of people are there recording podcasts or just getting content. Like this is all for ABS. So it's a really big deal. And like, we're so thankful for the team. Like I honestly think if it was anyone else, like I don't know, there's just something special about ABS that like we are really attracted to. And I think that getting to work with the team throughout the year, everything was like much more prepped this year. Even going into it, we were like, this year is the year where we have really honed in exactly what we're doing. Like Mark was super specific about what was going to be delivered at what time and all of that stuff. So where in years past was kind of like us figuring it out, it really felt like this year was like we found our groove. We're like, we just knew how to execute. We knew exactly what we needed to do. Everything was scheduled and we still somehow like had time for like random things, which I feel like we didn't in the past. So how did you feel like that was this year for you? Like, do you feel like it was more like on it? Like we were more organized?
Yeah. So this year I could really feel it. It did just feel different. I know you kept mentioning it to everyone you were interviewing and just when we were just sitting back and reflecting as the day was going on. It just felt different. And I could feel it from the moment like I got to the airport. Just I felt a calmness that I didn't have last year. And I don't know if it was just because I knew where I was going and I knew the flight and I knew like where I was going to be staying and how we were going to be working together.
Yeah.
But when I first got to ABS and we got to like go view the place and I don't know, it was just a calmness the whole entire time we were there. And there was just something like so special and different about it. And it is hard to put into words. But it was truly like a moment and a time that I will never forget. It
Mhm.
was really just amazing. And I feel like everything just, the flow was really great. And we all worked so well together. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think we could have had a better team.
No, like
From
perfect team.
Mhm.
Like that's the one thing that I think that Mark, who I keep pointing over there because he's behind the camera now, is that I think that like he had everything so organized, and like usually in years past, I mean, we talked about this where I would usually be the one to be like, okay, we've got to get this and this. Like it has just kind of like naturally switched throughout the year where Megan and Mark were having meetings all the time. And I want to get into like the ABS team of all of it, but I want to talk about our team because that was something that was, this was the largest team that we brought. Like this year, it was like the biggest team, and we're already like, but if we had one more person, you know, like we just know what would make the job easier. Like what can we bring to the table that will make us be able to create at our best? And that's really what happened this year. But we had you, so you were covering everything. I mean, we had a schedule of like, we're meeting at this time, we're gonna make this, this, and this. But then also at the same time, you're just like my right hand. Like you're there for all of the like, I wanna get into some of the like the funny things that like happened while we were interviewing and all that stuff. But it was really awesome to have you just like with me. It's like a security blanket. Like it's just really nice to know that like the boys can go off and like do their thing, but like I have my Nyalee. And I was actually thinking when you were talking about the flight and stuff,
Yeah.
I remember thinking last year, like, I can't believe her parents are just like letting us, like, I know that we're good people and like we'll keep you safe. But I remember thinking last year, like, I can't believe they're letting her just go with us. Cause like for somebody that's in college right now, like it's kind of a crazy thing. I mean, I think you're the perfect person for it because somebody your age is the one that needs to see this. Like you're the audience. So I think that's why the content you create like hits so well. But I was a little bit like, are they nervous about like us just like taking her girl to like a huge city? But I think having Bryce in there like helps a lot for you guys to be able to go and do things like when there's time. And I think that that's really special. But even when you were saying like this year I just felt better, I was like, oh yeah, I remember thinking like she's a baby. Like if somebody told me they wanted to take Finley at that age, like I'd be like, are you sure? Like it's okay. But you really did, like everybody remembered you this year too, which I thought, I was telling Mark was such like a special moment for me. It was like last year, it was like, hey everyone, this is Nyalee, this is Nyalee. And now everyone this year was like, hey, like so good to see you. And I loved seeing that. Like, cause I feel like I'm like, oh, she made her place here. You know, she's got her spot. So having you was huge. And then having Kane, who Kane is like the star of our group, right? Like I feel like he's like the star.
Yeah, he's great. And I feel like it's all just how our team comes together and how we bring so many different things to the table. Like we all just match so well. Like your personality and how bubbly you are, and just I don't know how welcoming you are, and it's just so comforting.
Yeah.
And I think that comforted me this year, just knowing that you're like a mom figure.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like I have someone that's like a mom there for me. And it is nerve-wracking being in college, because I feel like a lot of college students, like this would be a really scary thing for them. Not just the traveling, but like taking a break off from school and doing.
But you like don't, by the way, also. I mean, last year, as soon as we landed, you were like, hang on, I gotta like work on this paper real quick. And I'm like, how are you doing this? Like, how do you have the energy to do this? But there is like, even being on that state, like being like, who we're meeting, again, like we'll get into all that stuff, but like the people that we're meeting and all that stuff, like you're not nervous. Like, I don't know. I mean, even just being at the beauty school, I know 1 million girls. I've worked with so many people your age, and there is like a confidence, like even if you're nervous, you do step outside of that. Like you don't let people see your nerves at all. Like you might be nervous before we go in, but I've like never even noticed like that you were scared or nervous. Like last year, like meeting, you know, I mean, Ted Gibson and all, I mean, these really famous people in the beauty industry, you're just like, okay, like I got it. Like, will you come over here? Like you're so good at directing that. And I think that that's something that not a lot of people your age have. So hopefully it's like building that also.
Well, I really appreciate that, Bobbi. That's so sweet, because I feel like a lot of times it's hard to be confident, and it's hard to carry yourself in a way that people will remember and not get down on yourself in situations like that, especially when you're around so many high up people and so many people that are not only older than you, but a lot more advanced than you. And especially me, I'm not in the beauty industry. And when we're going around, I don't really know the things that people are talking about hair-wise, but I feel like it's important to be able to adjust to the different situations you're put in.
Yeah, and you would like literally never know. Like I think people watching this that met you at the show would be like, I had no idea, because you really do just like lock in.
Yeah.
But I think we all kind of are in that mode. Like I think definitely more this year than last year. I mean, we did great last year. This year was just such like so far above where we were last year. But we just like lock in and we're just like, okay, we're here, you know? And I don't know if like, if we weren't on the ABS team, if I would feel the same way. Like, I feel like there's definitely like a confidence of being like, we're here, what's up? Like we're, you know, like we want to make it fun and be welcoming to everybody. So I feel like there's just like that moment that it just turns on. And this year, I feel like that moment was like that entrance of people, like the lobby being full and just like being in. But then I also think that like, as soon as we all got to the airport together, that also that we're like, okay, here we go, you know? So it was us. So there's 5 people. So it was me, Mark, Nyalee, Kane, who lives in Chicago. And he's just, I mean, he's such an important part of our group. Like we met him at America's Beauty Show, and luckily like get to have him because he's just, his personality is so fun and so energetic, and like he just matches our energy. And then bringing Robert in this year. So Robert, we just met at the Beauty Professional Awards, and we've been working with him, and like he fit great with the team. Like it was just like, the energy matched. Like that is one thing that I think is so weird, because we are all so different, but it was like, our energies matched. And then Leo G, who's a barber here in Knoxville, like came up with us because he had some connections at ABS. So we kind of rolled up with like an awesome group too.
It definitely, it felt so good. Like having such a strong team that I knew I was working alongside, and that if I had any questions or anything, that I had support.
Yeah, for sure.
And even like the ABS team, like Frank and Megan and everyone else, they're so amazing. And I think that really helps too. And that plays a big factor in my confidence level working at ABS, and really feeling like I have the ability to work to my best potential and really shine there at ABS and work alongside you and help you to accomplish your goals when you're there. And
it's so fun. Like the whole team of being like first of all, reunited, like as soon as we see each other, because we haven't seen them since the show last year. I mean, and we're all like, thank God we're back together. Like we're so happy. But to think that that show is put on by like a team of like 8 is so crazy. And I think that's what makes it so different and so special. Like I love working America's Beauty Show because of that. Like it's them, it's the team, it's those times in between that you know you're gonna need support, encouragement, like just all the perks that they allow, because they appreciate what we are doing and we just like appreciate them so much. Like it really is like how our little group works. Like we work the same as them, where they're like, she's just really good at this, so let her do her thing. And he's really good at this, so let him do his thing. And that's just like, really, I feel like this year what happened is we had some like clear direction of what we had to deliver, but then we delivered on it because everybody was like set and ready. So, okay, I want to get into our memories. So first thing, for me that I wrote down was the Tabitha Coffee run-in. So I found out that Tabitha Coffee was coming to ABS, and because this is such like a God thing, or like whatever put her there at that time, and like us being ready, like we have to like tell how this all happened, because it was like, oh my gosh. So we had just they do the ribbon cutting at the very beginning of the show, and this year the lobby was packed, like different than last year, way more energy. I was like, oh my gosh, like this year is going to be like, that was definitely the moment I knew that we were like in for something different. Like I felt it with us, but I was like, oh, we're just more confident this year. But no, it was that moment where even after they cut the ribbon and everyone went in, do you remember me being like, everyone's still here? Because they went in on one side, but there was so many people, there was a rush on one side that they were still waiting for the other. And we were like, how are all these people here? So we like dive in. We're like, let's go interview. Let's start getting some content like immediately. And so we're walking around like after all of that and the show's getting started. And I had found out that Tabitha was going to be there. I knew that she was hosting on the main stage. And as far as like celebrity in the industry or like people that I would want on my podcast, like I don't know if I told you this, but I had messaged her like after the show, after we had that brunch or whatever, but I had said like, thank you so much for everything. Like it was so nice meeting you. And I looked up in our messages and I had messaged her in 2021 and I just said, hey, my name's Bobbi. I have a podcast.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
And so the next message was like, thank you so much. It was awesome meeting you. And I was like, what
Bobbi.
in the world? Isn't that nuts? Because
Yes.
she's my get. Like I fell in love with the beauty industry because of Tabitha's Salon Takeover. Like I watched it and I was like, wow, like I love this. And so anyways, we're like, I was going to ask the ABS team if I could interview her, but I didn't want to like ask for a favor. Like I know they would have been like, yeah, we'll make time for you. Like they would have made it happen. But for some reason I was like, I don't want to ask. Whatever. So I was like, we're walking, just interviewing and turn the corner to go to like the office, like to go to the main lobby. And she's with Megan. And I'm like, we have our microphone, we have the camera, we have everything ready. Like I've thought so many times, like, what if we wouldn't have been interviewing at that time and we would have run into her and we would have had to be like, hey, can I meet you back here or whatever? Like it was just, we're ready. Now, I will say, like, she had just got off a plane and just got into ABS. So, like, what a saint to be like, yes, I'll jump on a microphone right now. Like, that was amazing. And I'm still just, like, so thankful for that. But, like, I'm watching back Mark's editing all the videos now. And, like, the way I was trying to play it cool, Nyalee, like, I swear to God, my soul left my body for a second. And I was just like, this is my moment. Like, I have to do this. And I have to, like, be cool, I'm talking through all these things that like, I didn't feel like there's people in the industry that I'm like, whoa, I mean, Sam Villa, I still am like just grateful for, and you know, all these people, but like this was different for some reason for me. And so we do the interview really quick. She's so sweet, so nice. And I'm just like, okay. And I was like, oh, hey, you had mentioned coffee. I can show you where the show office is, like where you can get coffee. So I'm like, let's not let this end yet. I'm like, let's hold on to this moment, like as long as we can. So we walk in the show office and then she's like, hey, do you know where the model prep area is? And I'm like, yep, I got you. Like, let's keep hanging out. So we're like walking through the show with Tabitha Coffee on day one. I mean, I don't even know, we'll have to look at the timestamps, but like, I don't even know if we'd been there 2 hours yet. Like it was that early. And like everybody, which I didn't realize until I looked back at the videos and I'm like, everyone's looking at us. And I had no idea. It was me and Tabitha Coffee and no one else was around. Like it was like in my mind, it was like just us. And I was like, you know, I just wanted to make sure that I had the moment to like share gratitude and to say, I grew up watching her show and I'm like a huge fan and whatever. And she was just the nicest. So we take her to the model prep area, you know, say goodbye. Like she was so sweet, gave us a hug, like whatever, like so nice. And then as soon as we turn around, like I literally had to go into a corner and like stop for a second because I was like, I can't believe this just happened. Like, this is insane. Like, I just had to recap. And as soon as we stopped, these two women come up to us who are so amazing. Like, I swear, again, angels. And they were like, were you just with Tabitha Coffee? And I was like, yeah, like how crazy is that? And they were like, so like, oh my gosh, like this sweet, like they were like excited for us, you know? And they were like, we've been following you. Like, and then we start talking and recapping. So then like, it's to set the stage for how the rest of the show would go, because like, we've never filmed with more people walking in front of a camera. Like never.
Yeah.
So we're filming, and then I want your view of this. So we're filming with them after all this craziness, still on cloud 9.
So we had just regrouped from meeting Tabitha Coffee and
but there was like 10 seconds in between them coming out of, like it wasn't like a time where we could like settle down.
Yeah, it was like, we still hadn't regrouped. Yeah, this was still like fresh. It was like 5 seconds, I don't know, just enough to get a couple deep breaths. Like this was still fresh. And so like you had said, the two ladies walked up, and then we were like, do you want to do an interview? And so they, of course, agreed because Bobbi's amazing, and they're amazing, and they were so sweet. And so we were just trying to, or you were interviewing them, and Mark had the camera set up, and I was trying to do the BTS, and people just kept walking through, and then out of the blue, Candy Shaw walks through and runs up to you and gives you a hug, and we're all sitting there like, what is going
interview,
on?
like she just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I swear to you, I was like, I was laughing so hard. Like, I don't know if we're gonna put that part out, Mark, or not, but like the way that we were like, we're literally interviewing right now. Like, I'm so happy to see you. And those women had to have been like, who's this girl? Like, because we were telling her like, oh, I have a podcast and Musical Bobbi, but they had to have been like, who is this lady that is happening to? So while we're talking about the which, by the way, I was so like, again, I'm so happy that happened. Candy's so amazing. It was so sweet. Like, I'm so happy I got to see her. Like, wouldn't have changed a thing. Like, that was like the best way to start the show. But there were 100 times that people walked in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And my favorite time was right after this happens. Still day one, we go to the Babyless stage, and I'm interviewing Philip Wolf. And we're talking, and out of the corner of my eye, I see Nyalee like, boom, like just like just stop somebody in their tracks because they were about to come through, and you had like seen what was happening.
I have a job to do for you, Bobbi, and I take that very seriously. Like, I'm sorry if I actually put my hands on you. And you're an elderly lady, but I'm sorry. I have Bobbi and the camera to protect here. Like,
you said, and you're an elderly.
ABS is on the line, guys. And I'm sorry, but the shot was just too good. We could not interrupt it.
Nyalee, like, she flung back. Like, I almost thought you, like, have you seen those TikTok videos where they're like, yeah, your friend's over there, whatever, and then you they get grabbed by the hair. Like, I swear, I know that was not what happened at all, but this little blonde girl from Tennessee that everyone they think she is like the cutest, sweet, and like you to be like the defensive lineman of the weekend was so crazy.
Well, I have to do it for you. I do. And I feel like it's so important to like protect your filming.
Well, the thing is like while we're filming, you kind of get in your groove and it feels, because I want it to feel natural. Like, I don't want it to feel like a fake, all right, we're on now. I want it to just feel natural. And when that happens, but the best one was when we were it was so many times. Like, we're even like bringing it up because if we said 25 times we walked in front of the camera, like that would be underestimating it.
Yeah.
But my favorite one was when the lady, this was on the last day, right, Mark? Last day? On the last day of the show, first of all, last day of the show, we are running on fumes. Yeah. I have nothing left to give. Like, I gave it all that night, like whatever. It was, like too much. So we, like that day, Monday was like, we're really like pushing through. And like this lady comes in and like is walking in front, and Mark's like, hey, we're filming. And you guys are both trying to stop her.
Yeah.
And instead of like ducking out or like stopping, she just comes right into the shot. Like, right as if she's being interviewed like with us. Like, she ducked, but like into the shot.
Yeah.
That was my favorite one.
I think that was just the icing on the cake, really.
Yeah, that was like...
It was always someone like trying to come in the shot. But I love it.
Yeah, that was so fun.
I feel like that makes for the best memories.
I think so too.
Because, I do. I get so protective of the filming because it's like sacred. Like, this is your take.
Yes.
Like, this is for ABS.
Oh my gosh.
This is everything. Yeah. Like, this is why we're here. And so it's just important for me, and I get so in the groove and in the zone. Yeah. And
it's a crazy side of you, like, which I love, but it really is like this, like, we're on it. And I just loved them looking back and seeing that it was Nyalee and being like, this like little cute girl, like from Tennessee, like being the one that just taught me.
I think honestly that like helped in my favor because like I was so done up and like, you know, I looked really feminine. Yes. And, like, I wouldn't hurt a fly. Yeah. And I think like me scaring the people in those moments like worked in my favor because it's like, oh, well, it's her doing it,
Yeah.
not someone else, you know?
No, for sure.
And so
That brings me to the next thing that I want to talk about is this year, I do feel like our looks were so elevated.
Yeah.
Like we really went above and beyond, and we were going to go shopping together and couldn't make it work ahead of time. So I just sent Nyalee pictures. I was like, I panic shopped at Anthropologie and this is what I got. And Nyalee put together outfits that like coordinated perfectly with it. Like everyone going through the show was like, oh my gosh, like I love your outfit. Like your outfit Monday, I think was my favorite. I mean, I loved all of them, but everyone was like stopping her, like being like, oh, I love that. I love that. And that's so fun. Like that's another amazing part of America's Beauty Show. Being at these shows, like it's girlhood. Like it really is like everyone just being like so sweet, so amazing. I just like giggled about the birthday thing as soon as I said everyone's so sweet. We have to talk about that later. But no, like that was so fun. And I like that like we get the weekend to be like girly and done up. But Mark and I were saying like, I think that's a big part of like what attracts people to us. Cause not only are we showing up with Mark, who's 6'5", huge camera setup. Like if Kane and Robert were with us, but they might have even been out on their own. But the three of us roll up and people are like, wait, what's happening? Like that is a crazy thing this year too. So I think so many people were like, what are they doing? What are you filming? And I don't know if it was like Mark had like a way bigger setup this year or what, but like it really felt like this year people were like, who are you? Like, what are you guys doing? I think everyone knew us, but I do think the people attending the show were like, wait, what is that? Yeah, I feel like that was different.
Yeah, and I think that also, like you said, has a lot to do with the outfits and how we all carry ourselves. And I feel like that's a great way to set yourself up for success. And a lot of people might not realize that it is the way you dress and how you carry yourself and present yourself to the people around you. And
especially in a place where like everyone like loves it. You know what I mean? Like I think in a place where like at ABS, like that's the place to go all out.
Yeah,
you know?
And it is. And I feel like I really love like taking advantage of the whole ABS and like this is my fashion show. Like this is fashion weekend for me.
For sure.
And I feel like that also helps me and maybe us, if I can speak for you, and saying that helps our confidence. And it really does. You put on a good outfit and your confidence automatically shoots out the roof.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is really important. And
we walk in like we're somebody. And I feel like it's important to just have that in your mind, whether we can't like, you're not showing up at school dressed like that or whatever. And I'm not showing up at work like dressed up like that. But I think the hair and the makeup and like all of that stuff it plays a part. And I think it like levels up the show too. Like I do think that like us being like, we're going to be so formal. And I did that last year, but like being like, we are going to be so formal at the Global Image because this is like the Oscars. Like this should be, and then I feel like people have followed suit. Like everyone, Frank was even saying like everyone dressed up this year and everyone was doing that. And I just think it's like a way of being like, let's make this fun. Like let's have an excuse to dress up. Like we all want that. So I really love that part of it too, like picking the outfits. And I tried to go with like the vibe a little bit of like their theme, which is grow. But I didn't want to go like so hard on it, like every single day of like flowers and plants and whatever. But I do feel like it's a good mix. And I think everybody like loves it. Like when we go in the show office and everyone's like, oh my gosh, I love your outfits today. And blush and braids obviously like killed it this year. Mercedes and Sarah like did so good. And we had like a really fun year. We always like have fun like giggling with them. Like we had those moments this year for sure, but like it just leveled up so much. I mean, my hair, and again, that was planning. And I know it's like so silly, but if you ask me like what my dream was of doing this, like not just ABS, but even just like in life, like getting to have hair and makeup for a weekend and like picking the outfits and choosing like looks. And even though we start at like 5:45 on the first day, like it's hard to get up, or we were out on Sunday night, super late. And like I knew I had to get up at 6, but I'm like, it's worth it. I'll sleep when I'm dead. Like they work with me. They're like, okay, your skin, like, we need to fix it. Like, let's get back together here. Let's like hydrate. Let's like they work with the situation we're in. They're such pros. Like, I'm so just thankful for them being on our team as well. Like in that way. Cause like you said, I think we all feel better showing up. So we kind of walk in with a presence for sure. But I just think like this is a dream.
Yeah.
Like I still can't believe it sometimes.
And I think they do play a really big role in how the day plays out, and just their attitudes and how they handle like your hair and makeup and
changes. If I'm like, hey, I got back late, I need to like bump it back 30 minutes. Can we still make it work? Like we have it on the schedule, but
so just like sweet. Yeah. And I feel like that's really important to not only in like the business aspect of it and like working at ABS and doing the interviews, but like the stuff like makeup and hair, just getting people in that realm that also are great and can build you up, because it's not only in the work environment of ABS that you need people that can build you up, like with content and photography and videography, but with the hair and makeup side, because it really does fall back on the people you're around. Yeah. And they help build you up or bring you down. And obviously you're going to want people to build you up.
I think that's like such an important lesson that we learned this year, is like the people around us matter so much. Like we would not have been able to do what we do with just being me and Mark, or me and another like this all happens, and it's so special because of every single person. And I'm like, I just want this team forever. Like we can grow a little bit, but like I just want like just exactly the same people. And so I think that's another thing that made it like just so good. Another thing that I wrote down that I like loved was the paninis. That like,
gosh, yes, that's literally my number 2.
I love that. Yeah. So we had, like no sleep. Let's just say like we did not sleep because we don't want to like miss the moments. And there were like times that like Mark and I were going to do our thing and our team was doing their thing. And it's so good. Like they're young, we're old. Like it's perfect. But we had like no sleep, no food. Like we're running on like, I don't even know. Like looking back, I'm like, how did we even survive and have the energy? Yeah. But every day, like around 2:00, we would like have a break. And we'd be like, all right, there's like a place like in the hotel, or not hotel lobby, but in the ABS lobby. And we lived on chicken paninis. Like that was what fueled us. Yeah. Like, and it was what I looked forward to.
Me too.
Like that was like my favorite part of the day.
No, me too. And that's why it's so high up on my list. It was just so special, like having our place.
Yes.
That we knew was good and reliable. Yep. And shout out to the panini people next year. Maybe hook us up with free paninis.
Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing. I don't know. We need to include paninis in that. And what we did get at ABS.
Yeah, but it was just so good having like a little break to debrief and have a panini. Yeah. And so kind of like regroup for the second half of the day. And that was just so needed and necessary. I mean,
we literally wouldn't eat again until like one night, was it after Global Image? So on Saturday night, that was when you guys went to the fun Mexican place. And I hate that we like didn't go with you there. Yeah. We couldn't figure out, like we were at a point where we were so tired that we couldn't figure out like getting in an Uber, like how we were going to get there and all of us together and like it just seemed impossible for some reason. Now I'm like, we could have just got an Uber. Like it would have been better because we ordered food. It's like so hard to get food for some reason, like unless you're going out to like one of those restaurants, but I didn't want to walk in the cold. Like it was like a whole thing, but we ended up eating at like midnight. We're like slamming French fries at a table in our formal gowns. So like we're all just sitting in the hotel lobby at the Hilton just like crushing food. I think at this point, like the bar had turned their lights on. Like they're like, please get out of here. But that was really like, I feel like an important part of our trip this year. Like that was a big part. What else do you have next on yours?
So next I have the first look of the venue. I just want to go back and like talk about that because it was so special. And I know we had seen it last year, but it doesn't get old seeing the venue and like going back on the memories from last year and like imagining how this year was going to go. And just being surrounded with Bobbi and Mark, and Bryson had tagged along, and we had Leo and Robert. It was just so special. And I really I don't even take those little moments for granted because it was just down to every little detail. Just like sitting back and having a moment to walk through the venue and just take it all in.
Yeah.
That was just so special.
I think we
to me.
also like knew what was coming. Like, I
Yeah.
think that we were like, tomorrow, like this is going to be full. And like, yeah, just getting those, like the excitement of like, we made it. Like, it's so much planning. It's so much organization. Like, we've had calls, we've had all these things all leading up to this. So I love the walk. I think it made me even just more ready for what was coming. And we really just wanted to know, we wanted to, as a team, like say, okay, here's the Ulta booth. So when we're texting each other, where are you? We can have these like points of interest to say like, this is where we're meeting. But that's where we saw Megan for the first time. And I'm just like, she is like one of my favorite people on earth, like anyways, but like to work with her and like to get this weekend where it's like, we're working for Megan this week. Like, Megan's my boss this weekend. And like, thank God. Like, no one sweeter, no one better. Like, we've joked that she's like the show mom, but she really has just become like this light there.
Yeah.
Like, she's really just like, yes, mom, she takes care of us. If we needed anything, like she would have it ready, but she's just like such a calm. We were talking about something happening. I forget what it even was, but it was like this thing. And I was like, Megan, like if anything chaotic ever happens in my life, like I'm calling you. Like, she was so calm in how she handled it and all, I mean, she's just perfect. But yeah, I loved getting that walkthrough for just like the buildup of what was to come.
Yeah.
And that was the first time that we saw the Beauty School Bobbi banners that
yeah.
Mark made. And one of the things that was on my list was like having the banners there this year. I'd had this idea of like, you know, putting something over by the Starbucks where everybody's waiting, and the team is so great. And like for a big ask of being like, hey, can we promote, like, here's where to watch all the content for ABS, to have like my photo be there. That was a big moment. That was like a what in the world, one of many of this weekend. But the influencers were standing in line, like they were doing their meet and greet, and they had texted and they were like, hey, come over, like we're at meet and greet, come see us. And I felt so bad skipping the line. So for all those people, if you're listening and we're waiting, like, I'm so sorry. I just needed to like hug them really quick. But when we were standing there, Mark was like, told me that like one of the girls was like, that's the girl right there from the banner. And I was like, okay, that like was huge. That was just like one of those moments of like, like, I loved that so much.
It's just so cool, like being able to work with you, and really one of my goals when I go to ABS, and mainly this year, was to really build you up and focus on really trying to take the stress off you during the day and focus on working for you and just trying to work alongside you and build you up and be able to offer like an encouraging little comment or whatever it may be. And it was just so sweet getting to see like even the banners and being like, I'm here with Bobbi. Like,
and you did like
awesome.
nail that, by the way. Like, I do feel like that's something that, like I said, like just our time where we're like, we have our moments of global image or whatever, because the boys are like filming, they're like going and doing their thing. So it really is like, we're like, okay, it's our time now. And I'm like, so I don't know what I would do without that, because you definitely crushed that for sure this year. What's your next one?
So let's see. Oh, next I have the show floor opening.
Yes.
And how many people were there. And one specific moment was like, they had just opened the doors and we were standing together and you were like, Nyalee, come here. You like pulled me to the side and we were like going against the flow of the people.
Oh my gosh.
Just like,
I literally grabbed your hand and I was like, we have to get out of here. Like, they're gonna pummel us. Like, it was like that scene from like Lion King. I was like, we're literally gonna get pummeled. I was like, we have to get off to the side. That was the craziest. I think Philip Wolf, when we were interviewing him, said the same thing. He was like, I was standing here and like when it came in fast, and like how exciting. That was a crazy moment for sure. I have down also like one of the highlights was when we were at Joe's live. So it was the Christopher Benson, Hannah Benson, the CBC Productions. Hannah, by the way, like I love Christopher and Hannah. They're so sweet. They put on like I was really looking forward to the show this year, and I feel like it was packed, like way different than last year. I mean, not way different, but like way bigger, way more people. I know they used to have like a gala there on that night, so half the people would go to that and half would go to Joe's, but Joe's was crazy this year. Like that was one of my favorite parts. Like I feel like I had the most fun, like that night. And I think that us getting to, so we, as soon as we got there, ran into Hannah, and she knows that we work with them and all that stuff. Like they're so sweet and so great. And they immediately were like VIP pass. So we had that access, which was so nice to be, it just, again, calming, like allow us to do like our thing in like the easiest way possible. And to get the content, that they were able to get. And so, we were able to, because of that, be like front row. And it really turned into this moment. And I don't know if it was like, it just like we needed it or what, but it turned into this moment of like ABST, Bang Style, like Ashley, Jesse, Megan. Like I was literally texting Frank, like, and I'm, of course, like he didn't, but I literally was texting him, like, get your butt down here. Cause he was like upstairs, like just taking it all in, and loving that moment. But we were just like girls, like it was like girl dance party, like the best music. Our friends that we've like made at the show are on stage. Yeah. So we're just like, what's up, guys? They're filming. A couple times I was like, okay, we got to move out of the way so that the boys can like do their thing. But it was so fun to be able to do that. And I'm like, all of the hard work is worth it for that moment. Like that specifically, I'm like, I'll never, ever forget. Like if you were like, what's a perfect moment in time where we're like just fun, screaming, like the best night. I loved that night. And that's really, oh wait, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. It really was. It was just so much fun. And my first time going and like seeing that and experiencing all the people, and like you could feel the energy, and like everyone was so excited. And like you said, we got to have like our little girl moment with us and Megan and everyone else up front.
Yeah.
And just like sitting back and thinking on like everything we got to do and experience. It was just so amazing and like crazy just to think back and think, wow, like I got to experience that,
In like 3 days. Like it's such a short window of time that like it keeps hitting me like still in waves, or we'll text and I'm still just like, I'm crying over this still. Like I still can't like put into words, like, and it's one of those things that like, unless you're there, like you truly don't get it. Like even listening, like if you're like, okay, so it's a party, it's a hair, like the energy, just the love that everybody has there. It's like the most passionate people all in one room, all that we know now. Like Mark and I keep saying that that's like the difference of this year is like now we know everyone. Now we're like excited. One of my favorite memories is so we had stayed out that night. So we went to the Tiki Bar, and the Tiki Bar was so fun. That was totally our like, because we were going to do a team dinner, and I was like, that was our team. We were all like, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe we just had this moment. Like we really recapped, and we're just so thankful. Like that's the thing about our team is it's not about any one of us. Like it's truly just like, we're thankful to be here for this experience. Like, I mean, it was just love. Like that whole night was just love. And I was so happy about that. But we had stayed out late that night, and we had hair and makeup early the next morning. And so one of the times we're like interviewing Popular Nobody, who we just like love. Like we've like been friends with him now for a few years at the show. So there's certain people that like I know I'm going to see at ABS, and that we're like looking forward to it. And he's one of them. Like I'm just like so excited. And I was trying to get him to come dance with us. I was like, come down to the front. And he's like, I'm literally blocking everybody. Like I don't know how tall he is. Mark, is he taller than you? Yeah. I mean, he's like the tallest man ever. And he's like, I'm blocking everybody. He did come down and hang out with us for a little bit, and that was so fun. But when we saw him the next day, again, because we're friends when we're interviewing, do you remember this moment where I was like, what are you at right now? Do you remember this?
I don't know.
I feel like
you're going to have to like read.
So he says like, I was like, I'm going to be honest. I'm like, I'm at 2% right now. I'm like drained. I'm like not okay, but here we are. And he's like, I was like, what are you at? And he looks at me and smiles and goes, 100. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I keep playing it in my head because his smile, he has the best smile.
Yeah.
He's just one of the greatest guys. Like the people that we're around are so nice and so sweet. And I mean, just, I think the best people, like Bird, like meeting Bird and getting to like talk to him. I mean, we had met him last year, but like him, like always being like, what's your name? Like, how do you pronounce it? Like he was trying, like this person who's huge is trying to be like, I'm remembering your name. Like I'm going to. And that I just like, I can't get over that part of just like the people.
Yeah.
And it's not because we're, I don't know, whatever, you know, Mark and I keep talking about this of like trying to identify like what makes it so different. And I just really think that it's like, it's just, we're all meant to know each other and we're all like, we're all positive and happy and love and light. And I think that all of us just being together there at that time is really awesome. So I loved all of that.
Mm-hmm. It really was. It was just so
I didn't even say the thing that I was like, that was on my list. Wait, I just read it. So anyways, another moment that I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening is at the Chris Benson show when Hannah, like on stage, like twice was like, shout out to Bobbi's team. Like, thank you, Bobbi's team, for being here. And I was like dead. Like I could have just fallen over like dead at that point. Like I was so happy. It just like meant the world. And I was like, you guys.
I know.
Like,
I heard that and I was like, what? Like I felt so proud.
I know.
Like to know you, be able to work with you, be on that team.
But that's like all of us. Like that was just like they loved it. Like they loved us and what we did. That was like a big, like
it really was
crazy. Yeah. I love that. So that's what I was talking about with the Chris Benson show. So there we go. What do you have?
Okay, so I have when you were at level 3 and
oh my gosh, I forgot about this. Yes, that was crazy.
Yeah. You getting to get one of everything.
Yeah.
That was insane. And like I was just standing there like, what is Bobbi doing? And then Mark was like, she's getting one of everything. And I was like, what? Like, is this real life?
So we met Jay a few years ago and just have gotten close with him, I think, just from like us doing the interviews at Global Image and like he knows Mark and like all of that stuff. So this year filming and Jay was like, I just want to make sure that you're hooked up. Like, I want to make sure that you get, you know, whatever. And I was like, okay, well, I'm a girl. So like really, like there's some products I can use obviously, but I'm like, whatever, I have a son and a husband and whatever. So I was like, yeah, I'll grab a couple things. And he was like, one of everything. Like just hooked us up. I was like in disbelief. Like I was even trying to get out of the one of everything because I'm like, where are we going to put this stuff? I can't fly home with it. That was wild.
Yeah.
That was like an insane moment of like, what?
But I feel like honestly, that was just like a testament to how great, like even he appreciates you and everything you do because I'm sure he wouldn't do that for just everyone, you know? And I think that was really just him showing his appreciation for you, whether you realize that or not, because everyone really, and I was seeing them too, like mention it, but you could really, or I could really tell that everyone was just so thankful to have you and Mark and just everyone. And it was really sweet. Yeah. And I feel like, I don't know, it was just so sweet to be a part of. And I've even thought about like writing my college transfer essay on ABS. And even my parents agreed after hearing me speak about it, like I should write about it because it was so amazing. And that really was an experience that like I can speak about. And there's so many different levels to it.
Yeah. So. Well, that means the world to me because I feel like for me, it takes me a little bit to be like, oh, that's not just like how they are to everybody. Like I have this weird thing where I'm like, oh, they're just really nice. Like they're like that to everybody. And I think just realizing how close we get with everyone, like it's one thing to be like, oh, we like, you know, but like I mean, the nights at the hotel, like being in the hotel bar and like really just like hanging out with everyone and it being a group. And now it's not, hey, I'm Bobbi. Hey, this is Nyalee. Hey, now it's like everyone knows us. And that, I swear, is just like so special. So I love that, like, I'm so thankful for you sharing that and like pointing it out. Cause I like, it's just a crazy thing that I can't explain. Like, it's just like this thing where I'm like, we just get along with every person. Like,
sorry. Also, I feel like it's so easy for people to look down on you because of your age, but I feel like no one I encountered at ABS, you, nor Mark, nor anyone ever looked down on me because I was younger. And it was great. And I feel like I could really be myself and work to my fullest potential.
Yeah.
Because everyone was so uplifting and caring.
Yeah.
And it was just great.
Well, I think you carry yourself as older, first of all. Like, so I think people aren't like, oh, but like, I also think this is an industry where they appreciate youth, where they're like, this is the next generation. Like, they value, better than we do what social media, and like, I like watching you work on your phone. I'm like, I'm 800 years old. Like you're so fast. You can do things so quick, like anything that we ask. So I think that that's a lot about you though too. Like, cause you don't act just your age. Like, you really, like I said, you just rose to the occasion. And you were like, we operate at peak level at the show. And you are just like, here we go. Like, I'm going to be at my A game. Like, I operate high anyways, but like it's like a whole different, it's our Super Bowl. Like, it really is like just like our Super Bowl.
Like, training all year long for that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to talk about was, obviously TSB showing up. That was something that was really, really special. So having staff and students there this year, and even if it was like a quick pass, because we're working so much, like, I don't know if people realize that, like, we don't have breaks at all on the weekend, because as soon as we go back to the room, there was maybe 15 minutes between me being up at 5:45, hair and makeup, show, then we're like, okay, back to the room. There's like maybe 15 minutes that like I was not working, and then hair and makeup was there again. So I know that that's not like work. Like, that sounds like a spoiled thing to say, but we're right back into doing what we're doing for the show. There's not like free time, And so we go. And I don't think people always realize like how fast. So like the students and staff being there, and like how many people have been like, we saw you in your element. Like, you're just Bobbi at TSB. Like, I'm just the one that talks to them in the high schools, and they're here when they need me and whatever at the school. But like, them seeing me there was like really, really special.
Yeah.
And I was happy that we had that time.
It was really special for me getting to see like all the instructors that I hadn't seen in a while, and getting to reconnect with them. That was really sweet for me. And just like sharing a few encouraging words, and it's just always sweet seeing the instructors.
Yeah, I love that. The other thing I wanted to say too was Leo's moment of like, Leo, and I missed it, and I hate that I missed it, but one thing that I think he'll be okay with us talking about this, but Leo had come to the show, and on that it was the second day. So on the second day, he had the first day, had met some people, and was just kind of trying to find his place, right? Like, he had a couple connections there of like, I know this person at this, company, or this person at this barber company, whatever. But him and I had a moment. Again, this is all really brief because everything's happening so quickly. But Leo and I had a moment where we were like, I was like, have you gotten connected? Like, are you hired with a company? Like, I just thought for sure that like someone was gonna like scoop him up this weekend and be like, hey, we want you on the team. And, he said this one company was just kind of being weird to him and didn't really want to whatever. And I was like, just Leo, I was like, we got to wait for the right door. I was like, Mark and I talk about this all the time, where we're like so ready, and why didn't this happen? Or why didn't we get this opportunity, or whatever it is. I'm like, Leo, just wait for the right door, wait for the right people. And like, once it happens, I remember saying like, once it happens, you'll be so thankful you waited. And then that second day, show floor is almost over, like closing. So what happened? Because he went over to Anti-Broke Barber Club. What's it called?
Anti-Broke Barbers Club. Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, I thought there was like a social in there. Like, I don't know. I don't know what I was going with, but
so it It was honestly insane. And I felt so proud after knowing Leo for a day and a half. I don't know. But it was just such a crazy moment. Like, even for me to experience him getting to experience that.
Yeah.
Because I felt like we just already had such a close relationship, all of us. And so he, like, you could tell he was really in his element and he was really thriving. And he was starting to like gain a crowd and people were like talking about it and like it was just really such a special moment. And I think it's a moment that he will never forget. It's a moment I
know
will
I
never
could
forget.
like cry and I like wasn't there.
it
Like
was
I
really-
just heard about it,
Yeah.
but just knowing how much he wanted, not even the recognition or anything. He just was like, I just want to find my place. I just, my goal is I want to cut hair here.
Yeah.
I think that was probably like his only goal maybe going into it. But yeah, like having that moment. And then when you guys said or were sending videos like in the group of like the crowd forming around it, I'm like, this is just wild. Like the way, this is like the tap of the coffee moment. Like it's just the way that everything kept happening for the people that were with us and like with the group. And we're all so excited and whatever. So we were walking. No, it was the first day. No, it was the second day because it was at Joe's Live. Yeah. That we were walking and I was just like walking next to Leo and I just like gave him the biggest hug and I was like, I'm so sorry I missed it. But like us talking about how we'd had that conversation to wait and how happy he was that he had like waited for the right spot because at a different time on a different stage, like he could have been invited to the main stage at whatever time and like I don't think it would have had the same impact as it did in that moment where like barbers from the show are coming over and watching him. People were coming up to him and asking questions, like crowd forming about who's this guy from Knoxville?
Yeah.
That's here just kind of, and I don't know. I just love the way that you guys were able to like, I think you guys made him feel so special and seen. And like, that's what we do for each other. Like, I think that's the thing. And like, again, I hate that I missed it, but I just wrote down like the waiting for the right time and like having that time to be together and being like, Leo and I mean, right now, even if we were hanging out right now, we probably would talk business and we would like get into it. But I really think that was like just a huge
going
huge
off
moment.
of making people feel special and stuff. I could really tell when Leo was giving the haircut to the guy, you could really see his confidence boost. And I think that was really special for me to witness and for the guy. And I don't know, I've never experienced like seeing someone else's happiness be like that from a haircut or something. But it was just special. Yeah. And you could see his face just light up from the haircut. And
I know.
It was just magic. It was such a great moment.
Like we just keep saying magic. Like Megan and I will keep texting like it was just magic. Every single one of us said it was different this year. And I just really think that like there was something different, something special. I've thought too, I'm like, I hope this isn't like just the best it ever is, but I only think that like we're getting better. And I think from what I've heard, what hair shows used to be, we came in after the pandemic. I think the first year we went was 2021, right, Mark? Because we said this is our fourth year. I think we still haven't figured out what year we first went, which I could just literally look through my phone and I'd be able to see the pictures. But I think it was 2021, so it was right after the pandemic. And so obviously it was a low year, probably that year. But we just keep saying like we were just meant to end up at ABS. Like it was amazing. And then one of the best things I think, Mark and I did was we had scheduled 2 extra days. So we always come home. And I think I could operate like stronger because I was like, knew these 2 days were coming. I knew that like we were gonna get to sleep for 2 days straight. My stomach's growling. Is that gonna come up on the, okay. I'd like to put the microphone on my belly. I'm like, my stomach's growling. But I think having that time and not coming home so drained, so exhausted was going to be like a must, I think, for us to take that extra time to like rest. And we did. And I just feel like we came home better parents. And it's hard because with us being married and having 2 kids, I'm like, and thank God, my mom, by the way, like I have to make sure that I don't forget to shout out my mom on this because she, without question, without hesitation, is like, takes the kids, like has them, like they're so happy. This is the craziest thing. I told them, I was like, call me if you need me. Like, call me if you want to talk. They never called me. We texted and I was like getting updates, but like my mom knows how busy we are. And sometimes I feel like when we talk on the phone, like it makes us more sad. Like then we start really missing each other and then like they'll cry and I'll cry and I'll just like feel horrible. But her taking that on and like Will had a football game and she was sending us videos and like all this stuff, like we wouldn't be able to do this without knowing that our kids are so well taken care of. So thankful for that. But having that extra time where we got to just like literally sleep was, I think, like one of the best things. So yeah, I can't wait for next year.
I know.
I'm so excited. Was there anything big that we missed? I got through all mine.
I mean, other than I just wanted to mention, like me getting to see the first looks of your outfits and hair every single day. It was so special. And
I love
getting to see you so glammed and feeling so good. And it was just so great.
I was always checking in, and Nyalee also was like fixing me the whole time and making sure I looked my best. Like I wasn't even worried about it, but it was fun coming downstairs and being like, okay, this is it. You know, like that was so fun. So I'm so thankful that you were here to share and recap. And I literally, like, even talking about it again, I'm like, okay, I want to go back. Like I don't want to wait. But I know that we're just going to get better, and this is only going to be like, and every year we're like, it's magic. It was great. But this year definitely was different. And I was like, I want to make sure that we talk about it.
It really was. It was amazing.
So good. Well, I love you so much.
Bobbi.
Thank you all for watching, and make sure you like and subscribe. If you are listening on the podcast, give this episode 5-star review, and make sure you stay tuned to watch all my episodes of Beauty School Bobbi on Beauty and Style Network.